take a look at what I have on my screen today. This project, it got me thinking, this is definitely worth sharing with you. And there is a reason why. First and foremost, let me give you a good quiz to think about. So this is a new solution, right? For a post-COVID world where we don't want to touch the same surfaces someone else did. So just in case we would get, let's say infected by a virus or any other disease. And what this, I guess, conceptual case is a flexible buttons to check out. So as you can see, you have a till, let's say, and once you scan your items, it basically misplaces a button somewhere on a screen, and as a customer then you don't really touch the same places anyone else did. There's a flexible menu which is expanding flexibly on a screen based on where your pay button is positioned, and as you can see, they basically summarize this as a benefit because it could be placed on any of those, and then you kind of like are less likely to touch the same area someone else did. Just have a think and maybe let me know in the comments immediately, pause the video, what's wrong with this from the UX perspective. I think you know, it hasn't been UX'd at all. This is a product of, let's say, a design sprint, maybe 5-day effort, or maybe a design thinking effort where you ran a workshop, participated in a design, and came up with a solution based on kind of like a partial innovation which hasn't been user tested or doesn't abide by any usability heuristics or what we know as UX laws. As a simple example, what this breaks, one of the laws would be Fitts law, let's say, and usability principles. Users are not aware where is it gonna place, so your eyes are gonna dart in some sort of corner of the screen, and since people used the till so far, this is gonna cause a lot of confusion. And of course you could argue, but hey, we can change behaviors over time, but does it make this immediate innovation meaningful or considerate? I review so many portfolios, and a lot of people sometimes say, hey, you're saying that this is not UX but design thinking or design sprint. What do you mean by that? What is the difference? And the difference is this outcome, what I just shared with you. Because if a UX, you go in depth and it's not limited by time. You never say that, let's say, in the next 5 days, you're going to arrive with an idea which potentially going to result in the business benefits or some sort of user experience. It's never limited like that. It's not limited to workshops. And I have a video or two on design thinking, just covering design thinking in isolation. I am also, just to preface, a certified design sprints facilitator. And so I've been doing design sprints and running them for innovation efforts as well as design thinking workshops all my career. But I also know the difference between the things, because otherwise you're gonna end up with a lot of solutions which are not really useful and are not really UX'd. To quickly break it down, design sprint is 5-day Google Ventures effort which has been coined in a book. Sprint basically meant to get together with your stakeholders and workshop throughout 5 days with some problem framing, some mapping, some exercises of ideations, user testing, validations. You're gonna come up with an idea, and to me this is exactly the result of that, what I just shared with you. The design thinking is similar, and it's workshops using a lot of same methods of, let's say, the UX, divergent convergent thinking, a lot of empathy. It all starts with empathy, of understanding the user needs, and then kind of like rolling off into different directions and using the human-centered design to answer the business needs and kind of marry up the feasible, the technology, the viable from business, and the desirable from the user. But since it's workshops, it's not the deep evaluation of the existing usability, of the existing experience, of the existing service or product. It doesn't consider the information architecture in depth. It doesn't consider the heuristics. You kind of end up with very hasty solutions which might not work for your customers or users when you roll it out. And this is a key difference. What I need to stress is that there is no perfect way to solve the problems, but there are more appropriate methodologies which you can use in certain scenarios. So for example, design sprints, design thinking, UX are never mutually exclusive. It's just that they are tools which are applied to different issues, to different scenarios, different contexts. For example, a consultancy might run UX for a specific product design, might run design sprints when it's so early that we need to still frame the problem and allow their clients to define the opportunities. They could also use design thinking as they seem fit. And that's why you as a professional, as a designer, shouldn't steer away from any of those, but you should be aware where it's the most appropriate to use them. What problem can you actually target with them? There's of course in the industry a lot of hate for different methodologies. So for example, a lot of UX designers these days feel threatened by design thinking. They feel threatened by design sprints. Some are rightful, some are not so. But if you want to be effective and you want to be kind of like a future-proof designer, you should probably understand all of them and then pick the right tool for the right problem and ignore the rest. Of course, UX, if you want to be a UX designer or researcher, is the paramount to learn first. Don't learn design sprints yet. Don't learn design thinking yet if you don't know the difference between the two. Learn the UX. Learn end-to-end UX. Know it by heart. Invest years so that you actually can apply it before you go and transition into workshops for the innovation from any side, from design thinking or design sprints. Ultimately, what do you think about it? Leave a comment down below, and also don't forget to check out other videos. I always leave them in the end floating around me somewhere here. If you find something interesting, click on it, watch it, and that's gonna support the channel. And on that note, I'll see you next time.